So this week it's the Kansas City Chiefs coming out to Oakland, and the winner definitely will make some noise in the AFC West division. If the Raiders win, they'll be a half a game back. If the Chiefs win, they have a stranglehold control of this AFC West division. This will be the game where it really will decide what lies ahead in the AFC West, if it's competitive or not. You know, for some of you non-AFC West people, this is one of the more historic and intense rivalries of the AFC West division. Sorry, Denver and San Diego, but you guys don't have the history that these two programs have had in the past. I mean, Lamar Hunt versus Al Davis, that was huge in the day. And plus, this series was always a lot closer. You know, Denver and San Diego, they were always the losers, historically speaking. So this rivalry is much more closer, and it was tied for a while, and now the Chiefs have a lead in the overall series thanks to a guy named Norv Turner and Art Shell. Those two guys both are a big reason why the Chiefs lead the overall series. Going on to this game, the Chiefs, they do not have a passing game. At least they don't depend on it because it makes up for their running game. Matt Castle is not really worth the contract that he's being paid as of right now. You know, if you're going to do it in yards and dollars, it's not worth it. But what they do is they make up for it with their running game because they have the top ground attack in the NFL, and they have the worst passing offense in the NFL, statistically speaking. The Chiefs have really improved on pretty much every aspect of the game. The hirings of Charlie Weiss and Romeo Crennel as coordinators, you know, those two are better as coordinators than as head coaches. I think we've all learned that Patriot assistant coaches should stay assistant coaches rather than try to be a head coach like Josh McDaniels is trying to do. So, what can you say with coordinators? They know what they're doing. The Chiefs, as I said, have been improving. Some of the things, besides their running game and Jamal Charles and Thomas Jones, the Raiders really need to look out for the special teams because they got a guy named Dexter McCluster, and for those of you who watched SEC football, he was a very explosive guy for Ole Miss, one of the bigger playmakers for them. So we got to watch out for that. For the Raiders side of the ball, they just need to learn to run the ball well, and that will set up everything else. If the Raiders' running game does not come alive, then we can kiss this game goodbye easily because right now the Chiefs have a high-ranked run defense, but you know, last week we stopped a high run defense against the Seahawks. What do we do with these Chiefs? So Darren McFadden and Bush, I expect them to be playing well, at least to make this game competitive. Now there's a quarterback controversy with the Raiders right now. Obviously, Jason Campbell last week proved he can be solid when called upon, and of course we know what Bruce Gradkowski can do. So some of us are wondering, who do we start now? Well, for my case, right now it's Jason Campbell because he's hot, and he's right now the better quarterback, or as of right now, the last 2 weeks, he's been playing better. What I would do is I'd start him, and then if he's not effective, you'd put in Gradkowski in the second half. But Gradkowski, I'd rather see him 100% than to try to start him with an injury. You don't want to damper anything more with the injury that he's already got. You know, the receivers, they stepped it up last week, and it's really good to see guys like Jacoby Ford and Darius Heyward-Bey really play well last week against Seattle's pass defense. The Chiefs don't have the greatest passing defense, so they are very vulnerable. We still have a top-ranked pass defense with the bump and run coverage that we run. They don't have the greatest of weapons at receiver. I mean, Dwayne Bowe, he had a good year a few years back. He's having some downtime, but you never know if he steps it up this game. A little bit worries me there. Chris Chambers is an older guy. He was a lot better in Miami, I'll say that much. Then they pretty much just depend on their running game. I don't know about their tight end situation. Zach Miller is obviously better than him. But the Chiefs have depended on their defense at times, and it's come through in the clutch. Can the Raiders run on them, and can the Raiders stop Jamal Charles and Thomas Jones? These are also the two teams with the best running attacks in the NFL, so I'm going to be expecting a lot to see on the ground. Props to Hugh Jackson for really opening up the playbook. I think with the fact that Darren McFadden and Michael Bush are healthy, the playbook has really opened up, and we've gotten to see a lot more out of play calling out of Hugh Jackson and what he can pull out with this team. I really got to like what I'm seeing from him. they better show up because this is a divisional rival game, you know, as I've said before in the past. But this will be a close one, and we'll see what happens in the end, because this is definitely intense for both teams and both fans of both teams, because we know this could go either way, and the Raiders really need to make a statement to say they're back or not. I won't say they're back yet, because if they lose this game, it would make some of the other things irrelevant, so we'll really find out what happens from there on out. You know, there's that controversy of Randy Moss. Quickly sharing my take on that. You know, Randy Moss, obviously I don't want him. I don't want him to carry extra baggage. Us as Raider fans know what he did in 2006. That was garbage, so I don't want to see him on the team. Even though our wide receivers are injured, I don't want to see him at all try to, you know, make a contribution with this team, because I think he'll probably show no heart or effort with the Raiders as he did in 2006. So that's my quick take. We'll see you guys later, and let's really make some noise in this AFC West division. Go Raiders.